Okay, welcome to my show. So I learned something interesting. It was yesterday or the day before, depending on when I decide to post this. But I learned something interesting recently, and that is that game dudes exist internationally. Now, though I travel, and I have come across people who try to, uh, I don't want to say sell me their women, but they really try to fix you up or hook you up, etc., etc., etc. That is what I assumed was the equivalent to a game dude. But no, that's something different. I don't know exactly what to call that. Maybe a pimp, but even pimp probably wouldn't be the exact words given my definition and understanding of the word pimp. Maybe they're just opportunists or matchmakers or who knows? Who knows? But the concept does exist internationally, and I'm going to explain why. Okay, so first we got to get rid of some notions that we already have. One of the primary notions that we have to get rid of is that you don't need game abroad. And by abroad, I mean outside of westernized nations. And I have to say that that is definitely not true in certain aspects of it. Though you, as the traveler, need far less game internationally than you do domestically, doesn't mean that the men that live there don't need to do the same thing that game dudes teach you to do there. And really, it's just try to flash and smash or, mouthpiece a woman out of her panties. That's essentially what the game dudes are attempting to get guys to do. So, locally, the people who live there locally, let's just say if you're a guy who is poor, right? And there's a lot of poor guys out there that you are competing with for the women who are willing to date poor guys. Now, these women who are willing to date poor guys are also open to dating, mating, and relating with wealthy guys. So, your competition is thick in that country. So, you are going to have to develop ways to distinguish yourself from the competition. And that is what game is. And yes, a poor person who lives abroad would need that. Now, with game comes game dudes. There's always going to be those, and this is not just a domestic thing. This is an international thing. Poor men from other countries want to have sex as well. Unattractive men from other countries want to have sex as well. Game is what you rely on when a woman is not going to be interested in you for obvious reasons. So you're going to have these guys, and they're going to attempt to convince other guys that they need them to improve their love life. That's going to exist everywhere. It's that's just the way it is. It's going to exist everywhere. So, international game dudes exist for that reason. Now, what do game dudes do primarily? Well, most guys are either content with their love life. I'm not saying content in the sense that they don't want to improve it because everybody wants to improve it. There's a man with a beautiful wife that wish she had a twin and he was married to both of them. That's just how that works. And then there's a man who do have two beautiful wives out looking for a third. We all want to increase. We all wish that our wives or girlfriends or etc. was a little thinner or a little thicker, etc., etc., etc. We all want to improve it. But most guys are either happy or they understand why they are unhappy with it. And then what game dudes generally come to do is they say, you know something, you should be unhappy in your current situation, and I can offer you happiness. Now, what I noticed, and this is from the few that I've listened to in this space, is that they're not actually offering you an increase in quality and quantity of sexual access. They are telling you to be content with the sexual access you already have after they just convinced you not to be content with the sexual access you already have. It's a very interesting dynamic, but a lot of them are shysters, and that's kind of what they do. Anyway, it starts with negging. That is the only way it works. It starts with negging. They prey on those who feel bad about their situation. So they have to convince you to feel bad about your situation. That's something that's universal throughout the globe. All game dudes are going to do that. So then what winds up happening is that when they speak to someone from a different country, the whole anti passport bro sentiment is going to rub off on it's going to affect their interactions with international peoples. So passport bros will get it foreign and domestic. They're going to leave the game dudes from their country, and if the game dudes in other country have any access to them, whether it's through the internet or through other means, they are going to attempt to do the same thing there that's done here. Now, they may come to us in the manosphere, or just us in general, and say, you know something, you should feel worse about your situation in other countries for XYZ. So you still need game because of XYZ. You still need me. You still need my expertise. You still need my insight for XYZ. It's in their nature. They can't help but to do that. Now, it may come off as giving a different or a better perspective because they live in that country, but I would just go with, are you happier there than you are here? And if the answer is yes, you don't have to listen to the game dudes, both foreign and domestic. You don't. They're going to exist. They're going to nag you. They're going to tell you something that you don't want to hear. So when your self-esteem is at its bottom, they'll charge you to bring it to the top. Or they just do it because they're on autopilot and they can't help but doing it. Or they do it simply because they're miserable inside. Nevertheless, they are not to be taken seriously. And whether it's foreign or domestic, do not allow them to discourage you from your own path to happiness. This is GameChanger 00100. Game over. Peace.